Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Angie Sanchez, Angie Rojo. I am a quantum healing hypnosis practitioner. I just facilitated a Beyond Quantum Healing session with a beautiful Amy who we came together collectively to share this hypnosis session with you guys, this Beyond Quantum Healing hypnosis session with you all. So this is something I've been doing on my channel, so you guys can watch the previous video before this one, and it's almost like the information just piles on top of each other as far as it collectively becoming this beautiful golden book. So I like to introduce Amy, who is just amazing, and we wrapped up the hypnosis session already, so we have the energy of what just happened. So Amy, can you introduce yourself and also share perhaps some, where you went in the hypnosis and the quantum healing, and also maybe some things that you remember that were discussed? Yeah.
Right. So my name's Amy, and for those of you guys who don't know me, you guys could just get to know me by visiting my Instagram, Amy the Medicine Woman. Very easy to remember and look up, and so do that if you find resonance with me and what you're about to see or listen to. But the intention of this hypnosis session, when Angie and I decided to do this together, is to deliver a message to the collective right now that is the most important in this time and space. And so my intention going into the session is, exactly a reflection of that. And the first place that I was taken to, and you guys will hear this, is a potential timeline of what the Earth and the planet could look like into the future. And I was taken to a place where there's clean energy, where things were, in working in harmony, us and nature. And so the entire session, which you're going to discover, is really a beautiful journey that unfolds how we might be able to get there. And it may not be in this lifetime, but we can start our path to it. And that is, I think, what my higher self was trying to transmit through my vessel, through all of the things that was discussed. I think we talked about the real history of humanity, how we forgot our original purpose when this earth or this planet was introduced in this universe, and therefore we forgot our roles in it. It talked about suffering. I think we talked a little bit about suffering, how that transpired, and what fear has to do with all of this. And one thing that stood out to me the most is how to clear programming.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yes, that was fascinating to me personally. And my higher self was teaching us how we can quantum leap in clearing
Yes.
programs in bulk. And so I think that's very my style. I like to do things quickly. Uh, but, and so my higher self gave us a more practical way of doing it. So potentially when you get to that part of this recording, take some notes and on how you might be able to apply this tip in your life. I think that was very profound and clear to me.
There
Um,
is a lot of profound and clarity for people to look forward to and listen to. So we do advise you get a pen and paper down, take some notes, or maybe listen to it the first time and then go back and then take notes.
yeah, I will take notes myself as well.
Yeah.
I think that I want to go back to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Amy, so much. And we hope that you guys enjoy. Please let us know in the comment section what resonated with you. Maybe while you listened to the recording, it also brought up some ideas or epiphanies or perspective shifts
Yeah.
in your awareness. So we'd love to hear those. We're always welcome to expand, grow, and continue this evolution. So please do share that with us, whether it's in the comments or if you connect with Amy on Instagram or myself on Instagram. We'd be happy to celebrate this with you. So enjoy, and we'll catch you guys soon. You see, or what do you feel?
It feels very pristine, clean. It's very bright. It feels like the future of this planet. It's just the energy of it. It's very, very loving, very beautiful, very clean, very fresh.
Is this an energy that you're experiencing, or is this that place that you're experiencing?
I feel like it's an energy, a potential energy that the planet can experience.
How does this energy make you feel?
Safe,
Safe.
yes.
What color is this energy?
It's bright white.
Bright
So
white.
bright, very white.
Can we ask if this energy can take you to what this place looks like?
Restored. It looks restored. That's what I'm getting. The lands are restored. It's very lush everywhere. We're in nature. Nature. I don't see any buildings or urbanization. I think it's taking me to pockets of places where there are advanced technologies, it seems, but it is all integrated very well with nature itself.
Fascinating.
Yes.
So the place where you're observing the nature, where it's very lush, are there any advanced technologies in that place, or is that a separate place?
Oh, it's the same place. I think this is just the planet in general.
Oh, the planet in general.
I think it's just showing me that the potential of technology and nature coexisting in harmony.
Wow. Can you dive in a little deeper and see perhaps an example of how technology and nature coexist? Like, what is some tool that people use, or perhaps people use on the planet?
Let's see. They're showing me that everything is powered by light. Yes. And so the energy is completely clean. It's more about what energy source is being used in this future potential.
And what energy source is being used there?
It's some sort of advanced technology where it's using mostly light to power everything.
And when you say light, do you mean daylight or sunlight? Or is there a different kind of light?
No, it is a different kind of light. It is another type of light that is used as physical energy to power things to get from either one place to the next, or to even. I feel like we have a new idea of what light is in this.
Can you explore what that is?
Yes, it's showing me that different light frequencies can be used for different technologies and applications. And so when I say everything is pretty much powered by light, it is different intentions of what we want to use the technology for is powered by different combinations of the frequencies of the lights, if that makes sense.
And what generates the frequencies of the lights?
That's a great question. Let's see. I think it's crystals.
Oh. Can we explore what that looks like?
Trying to make sure that my thinking mind is not giving me pictures of what crystals look like now.
Okay, so just allow yourself to be taken to a place perhaps where these crystals are. So allow that image or place to appear before you.
I see that they're mostly shaped in pyramid shapes,
Oh.
crystals, and they harness light, and the light is harvested to basically be used for different intentions. So ones can be for energy, ones could be for fuel,
Mm-hmm.
ones can be for, I think, medicine, to,
Mm-hmm.
to be used to heal. So just different usages of these light.
Where are these crystals?
Seems like they're in facilities,
Oh, okay.
but they're also things that we can access at home as well.
Mm-hmm.
Power our homes. So yeah, so we're working, so in the future it looks like we're working more with crystals so that the energy is more clean, and they can, because crystals have, it looks like crystals have information, they store information, that they are some sort of communication device, so they can actually structure the light in a way that we intended to use it for, and harness it as an energy source.
Mm. As you're observing this world, do you feel that your energy, or are you in a body?
Not currently. It looks like I'm viewing a potential timeline,
Okay.
general, for humanity, or for
Yeah. And so are you observing it as energy? Like, do you feel yourself floating?
yes, I'm floating above it.
Oh, okay. Do you have a sense of any guides or anyone around you guiding you through this journey, or are you alone?
Oh no, I'm definitely being guided. Yeah.
Yeah. Who's guiding you?
Uh, I'm just getting Christ consciousness.
Oh. Do people, as you observe this world, do people work with the crystals, or who's in charge of the crystals, of that light energy?
I'm being shown those who are, there are different roles in,
Mm-hmm.
in this potential timeline, and it's the people who works with technology the most that's in charge of the technology, developing it and studying it and working with it. Just I don't think they have labels.
Oh, okay.
I think it's just whoever who has worked with these in the past.
Mm. Are you able to see these people?
Hmm. They're just like you and me.
Oh.
They're It looks like on this planet, like guys mentioned, there's no label, there's no separation. People, it's just that they take on different roles based on their interest and I wouldn't even use the word talent, it's just their attraction to working with certain energies and frequencies.
Mm.
Right. Yes.
Wow. What are they showing you?
Just the harmony between all of the ecosystem
Mm.
that is stored on this planet. They're showing me how life is thriving, and there's so much love and cooperation.
And cooperation. Wow. Wow. And do the people So they're human beings. So this is planet Earth, potential timeline for planet Earth, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Is there a chance that this place is existing now? Is that a possibility?
Well, everything in creation exists all at the same time. So, yes.
Mhm. Thank you so much for showing us this place, this potential timeline that we can head to and live in harmony. It's I can see this place already. It just seems like such a bright future. Um, we're curious to know, and Amy is curious to know for the collective about the history of our Earth and why it's important for us to know the truth of our history at this time.
The earth is created in love, and it's been a living library for all of us to learn and experience this love in our physical form, in our physical vessels. It's important to understand this because without this understanding, we will forget where we're going.
So why have people forgotten forgotten the beginning of how our Earth began, how it's created with love?
Mm. Fear.
Mm-hmm.
Fear is the opposite of love in your conscious awareness. And it is something that was created by the collective that has kept the collective in a loop.
Wow.
And if the collective cannot break out of this loop, the experience of love, of the original intent, will be forgotten, will be buried.
How can people get out of this fear loop?
To remember their purpose,
Mm.
but not in the sense of success or making fortunes. That is not the purpose. The purpose is to continue exploring this living library called Earth. It is a beautiful experiment. It's made of love. And for us to continue to create upon that love. That is our true purpose.
Mm.
It is full of harmony and cooperation with all life forms. So if we do not understand how to remember this part of ourselves, then fear will continue to imprison us.
Thank you for that. Can you explain the origins of suffering? Why did suffering begin?
Suffering began when we started to compete. When we start to compete for resources, when we start to run out of food, and we start to hunt, and we start to dishonor our lands, and we began to forget. When we forgot that we were birthed in love and that we're equal to all life forms, that is how it happens. And so suffering begins when we build systems around the survival of one species over all others. And so suffering began not only in our hearts, but in our minds, in our spirit, in our souls, because we've forgotten this connection that we have,
this duty that we have, the sense of love that we have for each other and for this earth.
What is the purpose of suffering?
Suffering is a choice. It is something that the Creator has allowed us to experience, and so that I could understand what we're here to cherish and appreciate over the opposite. When we see the difference, when we experience the duality, we're able to appreciate the things that we create in love that much more. But first, we have to understand that we created the suffering, and so that we can undo the suffering that we have created for ourselves.
Why have so many people forgotten what true love is? That divine connection.
The systems that were created structures our thoughts. When there's structure around our thoughts, everything feels like an imprisonment. And so we live our daily lives, going about our business, labeling each other, having roles that are displayed on LinkedIn. These are all very superficial ways to live. And so we forget love, because this is not the intention of Earth. Earth is not intended for urbanization and for slaughterhouses and for the burning of the forest and for the pollution of the air and the defilement of our waters. Earth is supposed to be pristine, clean, sustaining life, but it's been defiled, and currently it is such a mess. It is a mess that we created. And when there is this layer of dust, of dirt, how can we connect to love? How can we see and feel love? How can we know that there is a purpose to any of this when every day we're living in the energy of degeneration? Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you. And so is there, at this point, is there a way to get help from, are we being assisted to realign, to clean up this mess? Are we being assisted by angels or guides or light beings? Can we know about that and the role of those that are meant to help clean this mess that we've made?
Yes, angels and guides are always there, but you have to understand that they are there. Your awareness first is the most important thing. If you make a connection, they will always be happy to help you remember. But you have to make that choice. It is your choice because you have free will. If you want to live in disconnection, that is also allowed. If you want to continue suffering, that is allowed. There is a greater energy that is trying to get to you, but you have to be open to receive the help, the guidance. And when these energies are working individually with people who are open, who are coherent with this resonance, and it's also working with larger groups of people, with families, with communities. However it transpires, it is the work that the Legion of Light is here to assist with.
Wonderful. It's people just have to welcome in or acknowledge that the awareness of the angels and these energies that are helping us in order to activate.
Yes. As long as their soul is seeking for a higher purpose, as long as they've realized that there is a disconnection between their soul's purpose and their current life, then the help will be on its way.
Mm-hmm.
It could be in the format of a book, of a video that you watch, of a text message from a friend that you get. Whatever it is, we're here to guide all of those little hints to help you get to the next message, to get you to the next understanding of who you truly are.
Great. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Can you explain the lost soul, meaning why people feel empty inside, why they feel lost?
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
because of programming.
Mm.
There's tens and thousands of years of programming. This programming isn't just in this lifetime, although this lifetime's programming, it is pretty sophisticated. The programming existed ever since civilization has begun. And your bodies are carrying the memories of all of those programmings. That is why when we do regression, when we go into a past life, that is within the tens and thousands of years of timeline of your incarnations, it is all about clearing programming.
Mm.
So you must understand that there is greater purpose than the programming that you have been under for just the recorded timeline of history of man.
Mm.
There is much more work to be doing than clearing programs. Clearing programs is literally the first out of hundreds of steps getting to that pristine new era and new earth that we were showing Amy in the beginning.
And who creates these programs?
You do.
Mm.
There are different groups in the collective consciousness that is experimenting with suffering, with programming, with the opposite sensations of love. And because there is free will, that is allowed. And they do all play a role, because without these energies, you wouldn't know how to appreciate the opposite.
Mm.
And for the new world, for the new era, for the new clean technologies to actually hold strong into the far, far future, things do have to get messy first.
Mm.
All is for a reason, but I know that you're tired, the collective is tired, and that you guys are looking for hope. So the first step is to continue to clear these programmings and understand the origins of who you are so that you can go where you're destined to go.
And so these programs, you said that clearing, we could do so much more than just clearing these programs. What is that? What more can we do?
Rebuild your systems.
Mm.
Once you have cleared the programming, I believe Amy wrote down some questions about technology, science.
Yes, she did. Her next question was, what does technology, science, and religion have to do with this conversation so far?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
There's deprogramming in every one of those systems that you have created. because they all are created to structure your thoughts, to put logic above love. When logic does not work alongside love, but has power over love, then you've imprisoned yourself in the mindset of fear. And so science, technology, used, including religion, used in the current state, is created to structure your thoughts and to keep you imprisoned. And so when you undo the programming that's related to every single one of these systems, then you must rebuild new systems out of love, not fear or lack, out of abundance, out of cooperation instead of competition. Those systems will then carry you into a new era, and those systems will be a work of art. It will be a lot more fluid, a lot more complex, a lot cleaner, and it wouldn't have any programming. And so that is where we're intended to go.
That sounds like such an ease of a way of living life. And so curious to know, what is it that we can do? What can the everyday person do on the planet today in order to begin moving in that direction?
What a profound question. It is different for everyone, because every single person is at different levels of consciousness. So this question will take forever and
sorry.
to discuss. However, the first step is awareness of the programming. Many of you believe that you don't have much, but know that you not only have this lifetime's programming, but many lifetimes programming. The wonderful thing is you can look at programming in systems like the ones that I have talked about. You can group them into programs that's related to entertainment in the movies that you watch. You can group them into technologies that you use. You can group them into the religions that you may follow. And once you kind of look at everything in a grander scheme of things, then it wouldn't be so difficult for you to recognize the programming as they come up one by one. And you can potentially make quantum leaps instead of clearing programs on a minuscule scale, if that makes sense.
Absolutely, 100%. Thank you so much. Can you explain the cry of the earth?
Yes. The vibration of earth has been forced upon herself by all of the things that the human species have been doing. You have been stomping on earth, throwing trash at her. She's your mother. She is what birthed this possibility of life. She is what gave you the breath of air. The divine vessel that you reside in is what connects you to her. But everything you have done is to dismantle this connection. You have placed thousands of layers of creations that you created out of her raw materials just to create more disconnection with her. And so she cries. You are her beloved child, and you do not see that. And so she cries, not from the pain that she feels, but from the pain of you not knowing who you are.
Wow. How can people become more conscious of that awareness of Mother Earth's love for humanity?
Go someplace in nature that is quiet and just listen. Tune in with the sound of the wind, with the flow of the rivers, with the songs of the birds, and with the warmth of the sun. And remember that you are safe here and that you are loved, loved in the most benevolent way, loved in the most nurturing way, loved in the most forgiving way. And when you're there, ask for forgiveness of yourself and then of your mother. And know that she will always forgive you because she is your mother. That would be a start.
Thank you so much. Can you elaborate on the Great Return, the Great Remembrance, and the Renaissance?
We have lost our connection to our creativity. Our creativity is the connection to the Creator. The Creator is creative. And when you have lost the sense of creativity, you lose your connection to source energy. And so the Renaissance is the reactivation of your inner creativity. All of the things that you thought you couldn't do, all of the stories that had put art and creativity behind technology and science and computers, is now going to be reversed, only if you choose it to be. So remember that you are all artists, you are all creators. You're here to create. You're not here to sit in a cubicle, to type on a computer screen and write emails and send text messages. That is not what you're created to do. So remember that you can be a teacher, you can be an author, you can be an artist, you can be a musician, whatever it is that your heart desires that asks you to create, you can find it. And once that happens, the great renaissance will come about. And even if you're a technologist, you are still an artist. Don't forget that. Don't forget the joy that you can have in all of the things that you do in your daily lives. They're not chores. They're not work. They are art. So once that happens, you'll start to remember. You'll start to honor that part of you. You will start to feel the divine connection. You will start to remember why you're here in the first place. And when you honor the earth and when you honor yourself, that is where you're supposed to be.
I'm very curious to know what energy we're connected with. Are we connected to higher self or Christ consciousness?
They're all one and the same.
I just feel this profound sense of love, almost to the point where I want to cry. So thank you so much for the presence and the energy. I know many will feel what I'm talking about.
I am always reminding Amy that her name is called Beloved. And so may her essence and presence in her human form also remind you that you are loved.
Yes, indeed. Thank you. And remind us all as people listen to this.
Yes.
Thank you so much. What is the role of our hearts?
Your heart is what is going to power you through when your soul is lost. So tune into your heart and find that love, not the romantic love that you see in Hollywood movies, but the love that you have for the divine, the love that you have for yourself, for the people around you that brings you joy, for the things that you experience in life that makes you laugh, for the things that you do that makes you want to dance and sing. That is love. That is creation. And for the power and the courage to forgive yourself and to let go. That is what love is. And when you tune into that, your heart is harnessing the power of love, carrying you through all the dark times as you clear your programs one by one. And that is the power of your heart. Use it. You have all been in your mind for way too long. Come down to your heart. Sit with it. Use it to activate this love, this divine connection that is within you all along, and it's never, ever been outside of you. You are love. Don't you see?
I have this curiosity that just came up right now, and I would love to ask about this. For so long, we've been taught in meditation to sit and quiet the mind. However, I'm being led to ask how we can sit and listen to the heart.
That is a beautiful question. Well, to listen to the heart, the meditation practices are not wrong. You do have to quiet the mind before you tune into your heart.
Mm-hmm.
So that is the first step. Your heart's song will reveal to you the things that will power your emotions. If you ever feel like a sense that you're about to cry, you will understand that you're connecting to your heart.
Mm-hmm.
And these are not cries of suffering. These are cries of understanding. So once you feel an understanding with yourself, with someone else, a deep realization that brings you tears, that brings forth emotions, then that you will know is a connection to your heart. Does that answer your question?
Yes, so allow that opening, that flow to just pour.
Yes. Let it all open up.
Mm.
All of the experiences and memories that you've ever had. Your heart knows it well. There are certain times when certain music, certain stories, certain messages that you receive will open that up for you. And you will feel this little tingling in your heart as you've known it all along that this information that you're receiving is true. Then that is connection to your heart. And so continue to tune into that. Don't walk away because it hurts.
Mm-hmm.
It is your heart working for you at the deepest level. It is your heart telling you something that you either need to release or that you need to embrace. And so use that muscle, tune it, build on it, and live in it as much as you can.
What is the role of our bodies?
Wonderful question. Our bodies are divine vessels. They are instrumental in our fulfillment of our purpose here on earth. Many of you, especially the spiritual community, have not understood exactly how the body plays a role in our ascension. When we arrived on earth, our body is not contaminated with all of the things that we have created in this current world. It is a divine and clear instrument that can communicate directly to Source if we allow it to. Right now, we're finding so hard to even sit in meditation to connect with Source because our bodies are fidgety. It's dehydrated. It's malnourished. How can we even create that connection when we haven't even cleaned up our divine vessels that are gifted to us? So that is the role of our body. Not only are we cleaning up the Mother Earth, we're cleaning up this divine instrument. You have to understand that there is so much dust on your divine instrument. If it's a receiver of divine connection, it is very, very dusty. It's not going to work,
Mm-hmm.
even if you command it to be so, because we have to clean. And there's so many of your health trends in the current state of being in your collective that is blocking you from activating this divine gift that is your divine vessel. Our health trends are programmings too. Anything that you see in the market that has more than probably 50 of them on the shelf, you'll know that is a trend.
Mm-hmm.
You'll know that it's probably worse for your divine vessel than it is good for your divine vessel. So use your wisdom, tune into your intuition, and understand what is made out of love versus what is made out of power, a hungry for power and profit. And when you do that, you'll understand that whether or not what you're consuming is actually harming your divine vessel. And once you've cleaned up this divine vessel, all of the messages that you're about to receive will become more clear, hundredfold, 10,000-fold. And the lag that you always anticipate and you always apprehend between sending out a cry for message versus receiving the message, that time will shorten, and your clairvoyance and your psychic abilities will enhance immensely. So tune into your body first before you sit into meditation. Feed it with nutrients, clean it up with plant medicine that is so abundantly clear in fruits, vegetables, and all of the herbs and spices that's available to you. Tune into that, and that is how you'll use your divine vessel to connect.
I don't know if I asked this question. I don't think I did, but can you explain the loss of sound and the rise of fear, meaning why people have lost their voices or are afraid to use their voices?
It is a very similar answer to the question of the body. Voice is also suppressed in the programming that you have created for yourself. You have given your voice over to technologies that can predict, or so you think it can predict, what your desires are. And when you give that voice to literally Siri, Google Voice command, Alexa, and those are just examples that I'm giving you, you lose your own power to create. Your creativity diminishes, and your voice, which commands your reality to become physical, will also be diminished. And so your power will also be diminished, your power to create. All of these things are coming into play to disempower you, and you do not understand that. You think that is actually empowering you, but it is not. So understand that your voice needs to be restored. And the first way to do it is to understand that you have a greater purpose than the job that you have currently at your desk, that the career that you're trying to build for the last decade. You're not here on earth just for these 50, 60, 70, 80 years. You're here on this planet on a greater timeline of creation. This is a very important lifetime for all of us. Because if we can turn around things in this lifetime, then the many lifetimes that you will incarnate in the future, you will no longer be imprisoned by programming. And isn't that wonderful? You can actually start to build upon the world and the planet that you were intending to billions of years ago. We've taken a big detour. It's really time to get back on our path. And you're going to love this so much. It's so much more exciting than what you put on your LinkedIn profile. I promise you.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. It's so clear and so much detail. Thank you.
You're welcome.
What is the role of the divine feminine as we continue shifting and waking up in our timeline?
Wow. The divine feminine. Powerful question. The feminine energy has been suppressed for thousands and thousands of years, continuously. And so to find our voice is to first allow also the divine feminine to speak. So in the context of all of your programming and the systems that you have created to suppress this voice, the female energy collective is here to unblock it. Look to the mothers. The mothers are leading the way. Their voice is loud because they see their children suffering. They see that the next generation is inheriting a world that may not be able to survive for much further. They see it all. So look to them and help women who is on the path to motherhood. Help them out, clear the way, and understand that the path to creation is through this sacred journey of motherhood. And so support them and guide them, and remember that the sisterhood is very, very important in all of this. With urbanization and the advancements that you have so-called advancements in the last thousands of years, is completely disconnected your communities. And sisterhoods that used to help women thrive has been dismantled. And so women today feels very alone. Even your concept of divine feminine can feel like they're restoring their feminine powers, but it may be lacking in the collective feminine power of sisterhood, of support, of love, of community. So tune into that, reach out, and continue to create together. Remember, cooperation over competition. That is the key lesson that we're all learning, and we're all here to remember.
What about those that are not on the journey of motherhood? What role do they play?
They still play a very important role.
Sisterhood.
Yes. Supporting others, other women, sisters, and of course, helping the divine masculine to understand their own version of divine feminine roles that we play. But when I say motherhood, it's just that they could be the leaders in helping us realize this as they are further along in their journey of expressing divine feminine, and they have more spirit and willpower to carry that through for all of us.
I have a curiosity knowing more about the ninth dimension, if that is possible.
Yes, the ninth dimension, wonderful place to be. It is a place where the void exists, and the void exists because it shows us the other side of creation. Creation created from the void. It is everything, and it is also nothing. It is a place where many of us, even the very spiritually developed people, feel the most uncomfortable. This place is of great spiritual realizations, because if you can sit in the void of nothingness, feel completely alone, and be absolutely loved in that space, feeling love, then you have transcended many, many challenges. And you can take this lesson with you and continue on your soul's journey. So the ninth dimension is extremely powerful. Many like to come here, but they don't stay here long because they're afraid of the void. The ones that stay there long can go insane sometimes. That is part of the lesson as well. But it is our ability to hold that sense of appreciation and that sense of possibility, even in the void, that gives us one of the greatest lessons of all. So it is a beautiful space of nothingness. It is nothing, and it is also everything. Does that answer your question?
Indeed, it does. Thank you. I have, when I facilitate these experiences for people, many people go to this dark place, like a black space at the beginning of the session. And so I'm curious to know if they are going to the ninth dimension at the beginning of sessions.
The void in the ninth dimension can be pulled in at any point in time if the soul is resonance to that vibration. So it really depends on what the soul is resonating and vibrating at. And if it's necessary for them to be at the vibration of the void, they will be there. And I think ninth dimension is just a label for that frequency. So if they align to that frequency and is your language to call it the ninth dimension, then it is.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what to call it. The ninth dimension doesn't resonate much, but it's how I've learned about it. So
you can call it the void if that resonates.
Okay. It does actually. Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, thank you for answering all of Amy's questions, and also, many detailed descriptions of ways that humanity can understand various programs and things happening in our world. Thank you so much. Is there a last message for the collective that will watch this video at this time?
Those of you who are watching are in resonance with what we're saying. And if you would like to continue to explore, Amy will always be here to discuss. She loves this information, and she is very clear in explaining it as probably better than we may have at this point, because she uses your language. And so, if there's anything that piques your curiosity during this transmission, feel free to ask her to translate for you in human terms. And perhaps you will have a greater role in all of this as you're divinely connected at this point. We can never go to the place we intend to go alone. And so, Amy, Angie, and many others who are tuning in will need to work as a team. That resonates with you, reach out. There's always a place for all of us to combine our gifts and what you call talents, although we all have talents, just things that you are attracted to do for us to come together and build a better world together.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for all of the blessings and messages. I know that the collective will really appreciate it, and Amy and I really, really appreciate it. Thank you for this cleanse and for this gift and bringing us together. So, yeah, that was very beautiful, very detailed. I like your vessel is able to express things so with so much color and so much, like, it really draws this beautiful picture that people can understand. So thank you for doing this.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
It was for me, so thank you.
Yeah, we did it for the collective, so it's such a gift.
Yes, yes. What are some of the things that stood out to you specifically?
Oh my God. Honestly, your questions were here, and these are my notes.
Oh my goodness. Wow. I am so happy to see
There is so much. I felt like crying so many times from just the profound clarity and profound simplicity and knowing of our connection and purpose on earth. There was one thing, when I asked the question of, can you explain the cry of earth? The vibration of earth has been, it said, earth cries, the energy that we were connecting with said, the earth cries, but not in a sense of sadness, but in a sense of us, in the sense of humanity not realizing how much it is loved.
Yes.
And I think many people, when they think of the state of our earth, they think we need to send earth love, which of course is one approach and perspective. But I think it's very rare for us to think like, let's allow ourselves to receive the love that earth has for us.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Yes. That is so profound. Actually, that is related to the COVID-19. I remember just listening to Pamela Erlin talking about, she was channeling COVID-19. She said, we as the collective has issues receiving love or receiving in general, period. Yeah. And therefore the COVID says is there's difficulty of breathing.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I think that was one of the symptoms, and it's a direct reflection of our inability to receive.
Because we're blocked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's blocked. So we can't like either breathe in or breathe out, one of those. I forgot which one is the symptom, but it is a direct reflection of that. So I'm very happy to see that came through to you as the key message. So,
well, there was many there. I just put a star next to that one to bring it up because I thought I really, and I know many people will resonate with it. Right. But there were many from, remember. Do you remember?
I remember most of it, but I think I will need to rewatch it to get all of it, because I felt like I was more of like a vessel of like transmitting the information instead of like actually understanding the information and integrating it. So I'm very, very curious.
Yeah.
All the nuances that I may have missed while I was
right.
Yeah, transmitting it.
Yeah. How do you feel?
I just feel that there is a sense of hope and clarity, like you said. I think there's definitely clarity, and I feel like there's things that we can do, like take action on. I know that I have felt this clarity even before coming into this session, but this has kind of amplified that for me. It's kind of difficult to understand because I don't think I'm given like exact directions on what I should do next in my life, but the basic principles that were transmitted is almost like some sort of guidance to help us make those decisions next.
Absolutely. Yeah. There was, I think,
I think made of love. I think that was the one that came up to me.
Say that again.
That are things made of love, and if you can tell if things are made of love, then that is like you can choose that over made for profit or to defile your body or something like that.
Yes. Yeah. I definitely can see that. It's when we look at what we're eating or what we're doing, are we feeding into that program of power, or are we feeding into the program of love, expanding love?
Yes.
And so that was so beautifully not portrayed, but shared through your vessel, through you. Thank you. Yeah, there were so many things. I mean, I don't know where to begin. But yeah.
Integrate.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely such a gift. And it's really interesting, and people listening to the audio will hear, and it's completely silent now, right, in your home, but in the background earlier there was like piano playing and baby crying. But what's really crazy is that it correlated so much to what was being said. I almost feel like your environment created this soundtrack for what was being said.
Oh my gosh,
it's wild.
Before we got on, we actually started the session, the regression, I was in the bathroom just taking my bathroom break, and the lights flickered. And I was like, this has never happened before. And I was like, okay, they're ready to go.
The frequency.
Whoever it is are already here. They're like, all right, let's do this. So
yeah.
That probably the energies in my home are reflecting the whole journey the whole time. Like
it carried everything. So you can listen to the playback and I'm sure people will hear it too, where the certain topics, like there's baby crying in the background, and it just was such a beautiful soundtrack to adding, like, I don't know, emotion or feeling to the word.
Life is happening in the background.
Yeah, it was really cool. I was fascinated by that synchronicity there. Super cool. So much vibrancy. Yeah. Thank you so much. I mean, we can talk about so much. I'm looking at these notes, and there was just so much that came through, but I feel like this itself could be just a course for people to just sit down and watch it, listen and re-listen and let it sink in. And
and it sounded like my higher self offered me to chat with people about this, so I
definitely
guess we will continue to kind of dissect this through whoever comes through this recording and find resonance with it, and it will help us probably to expand on what was transmitted.
Exactly. Yeah. I'll put all of your information. I'll put all of Amy's information down in the description box below so that you guys can contact her, communicate with her, connect with her. Also, my information will be there as well. But yeah, thank you all so much for tuning in. Thank you so much.
Oh my goodness.